so glad to be doing this with none other than Baini. So
Hello.
hi, yeah. So I'm Felicia, and so I just want to jump right into it because we are going to talk about 5 a.m. Club, and it's based on Robin Sharma's book. Maybe before that, you can maybe share a little bit more about what you do, because I've basically introduced you as somebody who's helping Malaysians with their grammar. You have done. You are a founder of like 50 books a year, and you also launch. You're an author. So the Janitors Elysium. So I'm really proud of that, because I always wanted to be a published author as well. So yeah, maybe you just jump right into it and probably do a maybe introduction about yourself, and maybe some of your personal, maybe your family and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm Baini. I am a mother of four. I'll be 37 soon. I founded the 50 books a year hashtag in Instagram 5 years ago, when I thought I wanted to track my reading. So little did I know, after I started reading 50 books in 1 year, my life changed, and I started knowing how I wanted to contribute to the world um, in my small way. So I started the grammar helpline, which will be released in an app soon. Because right
Wow.
now, yeah. So many things grow from there. So I'm also the founder of the grammar helpline, which I just spoke about. And last year in November, I published a book, The Janitors Elysium, which is a story about a recent graduate who is frustrated and has some issues with his English grammar. So that's how I do my part in the world.
Okay.
And family life, I've been married for 9 years, and I'm blessed with 4 kids between the ages of 8 and 14 months. They
Nice.
run my life. If I don't have 5 a.m., I cannot really, I sometimes forget who I am. Um, yeah, so I have practiced 15% of what 5 a.m. Club teaches, and I think there's a tremendous um, benefit to it, that
Mm-hmm.
I think after I finished 1 year doing it, because I track it in my journal, day 1, day 10, day so I know
Wow.
when I was at day 365, I had to share this teaching with people so that they also feel this profound change in their life.
I believe so, because I'm still a very much a newbie. I told you last year I did, 22 days of it, and then like this year I attempted it over somehow, because of MCO and because of Ramadan, and it has been obviously helpful because you do need to wake up at a certain time. So yeah, so that is also another motivation. But maybe let me backtrack a little bit before you are like doing all this, balancing family life and career. What were you doing before? So are you still having a full-time like corporate job, or I
Oh,
know I know a little bit, but I want you to basically maybe share that with the audience.
for about 11 years, I was working in several MNCs. My first, I would say my last designation was I was the person who took care of resource planning and financial planning of the SAP department.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would say that throughout my career, I was mediocre. I wanted to do well, but somehow I always had to give in double, triple effort. But I was never as good as the best. Um, I was working on shift for a while,
Mm-hmm.
working in SAP for operations, and that's when I felt it. I felt mediocre when I know that there must be something better than this. So I changed. I joined management under SAP as well. I did
Mm-hmm.
that for about 2 years, and I did somehow better than when I was in operations, but um, I didn't feel it. I
Mm.
didn't feel myself grow.
It was
So
like a passion or calling, or that growth, I think. Yeah. Sometimes you
Yeah,
just
I
know it,
think
right?
so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like what I shared in our small 5 a.m. club group this morning, a
Mm-hmm.
fraction of my journal, which I wrote in 2017. So this was the book that I wrote, that I read in 2017 in March.
Okay.
And then I wrote that bit in April about wanting to leave my job to find something to, to answer the calling that I have. And
So
now,
will you say 5 a.m. book 5 a.m. club book actually inspire you to quit your 11 years of basically job to pursue something that's more closer to your heart?
no.
Uh,
Even before that, when I was doing 50 books a year, I
mhm,
knew there is something better out there for me. I knew that I had a much greater use of my time by serving what I do best
mhm.
to other people. So that's why I was going through many books. I read self-help, I read HBRs, I would even read shampoo ingredients. Guilty of that. Uh, because I wanted to find myself, perhaps.
Mm,
And
mm, mm.
yeah, so
Okay.
after going through that process, I took the plunge in 2018 when the time was right.
Mm.
I knew the time was right because I was involved in planning and financial forecasting in the company, so I knew what was going to happen. So I just took the plunge.
Okay, great. So I think this is very inspirational for a lot of people that may be listening and wanting to do something different in their lives, or because it's also the whole pandemic, and there's a lot of uncertainty. So I think it's just like it in yourself. I think you have to go through it, it's a journey, right? And yeah, and I would also make for those who don't know, like Bani and I met actually at like we connected through books, obviously, and it was
Yes.
like a KL book club, and then now classic challenges and things like that. So so we met each other probably in probably just one or two events, mostly just on WhatsApp, I think, and Facebook. So I'm always very into I couldn't really sometimes join in the book club discussion because I actually am into more personal development and self-help books. So which usually most readers online, they are discussing about novels. I mean, I've gone through like novels, I have my favorite author and things like that, but for me now that more so important of like soul searching and becoming the best version of yourself, so I'm more like inclined to actually towards personal development books and materials. So yeah,
Mm.
that's why one of the things why I was actually I was inspired by you. Perhaps I saw a few things that you quote and the books that you read. I was like, oh, okay, this person maybe I can click with. Yeah. So hence, just to give a little bit of background how we met. And so to the audience that's just tuning in, like, what's this? It's not really a book review because for me, I'm still very much a newbie. I just jump into it, and I have seen, I have a taste of a little bit of what it is. But since now it's timely, your 1 year anniversary of 5 a.m. Book, the 5 a.m. club, and then by from Robin Sharma's book, maybe you can share something, maybe a gist of what the book is for those people who hasn't even heard of it, or one thing, maybe it could be a book recommendation. And then we jump into how was your basically 1 year journey
Okay.
using the 5 a.m. club concept.
Um, I I saw this book. I knew this book because it's quite a bestseller, right? It's
Yeah.
everywhere at bookshops. I go to Borders, it's there. I go to MPH, it's there. But I never really wanted to read Robin Sharma because I told my husband, I know how he writes. He would, furnish up the same concepts in fables, and it's all so magical and something that's so unbelievable. And he would slip in some teachings here and there, and it I just told my husband, not for me. But
Mm-mm.
somehow my husband bought it as a gift for me. I don't know why. So
Oh, nice.
it's already at home inside
Mm,
the house.
okay.
I would read it, of course. So I started reading it, and I knew how Robin Sharma would write. So I knew what to skip. And I was like, oh, this is so much different. This is so much different from his other books, because I've read his other books too, which is also impactful. Uh, which you saw this morning, that I started journaling in 2017, but I stopped. I stopped halfway. I was never really consistent with that.
Okay.
So 5 a.m. Club is totally different from his other books in a way where he brings in the entire teachings of how you build the life that you want, to be the person that you are happy with.
Okay.
It's all about you. It's not about how you treat other people. It's not about being a better person from another person's perspective, or a better employer. None of that. But it's just about this one thing, about fulfilling your self promise. Because in reality, nobody ever promises to themselves, oh, I want to be the worst person ever. I want to be um, I don't want to do anything with my life. Nobody does that. Every person would want to be a good person, and it's in everybody's DNA to want to be the best version of themselves. But often we don't really hold on to our self promise, because nobody's really watching.
Yeah.
Correct?
Nobody
Yeah.
to hold us accountable. Yeah. For.
Yeah, because only we want it, and only we know what we want, and that's why it's easy to break the promises that we make to ourselves. So I read 5 a.m. Club to the end, and I just told my husband, I'm going to be waking up at 5 a.m. and I need my time.
Okay.
So I started with the 20-20-20 formula. So I will begin starting, I will start talking about the book, okay?
Okay, sure.
So,
yeah. Let people know about the 20-20-20 formula. Yeah.
Okay, first there are about 11 teachings that he prescribes in 5 a.m. Club, but throughout the entire year, I only realized a few days back that I've only practiced 2 of his teachings. So I missed out on 9, and yet the effects are profound. So the 2 teachings that I prescribe to is the 20-20-20 formula and the 66 days minimum habit creation.
Yeah.
So how the 20-20-20 formula works is that you wake up 1 hour before you usually do, so that you have an extra hour for yourself. So assuming that people usually wake up at 6 before they need to get their kids ready, need to fix breakfast. So Robin Sharma puts it at 5 a.m. So at 5 a.m. you begin with a sweat-inducing workout. Oh, this was so bad. When I started, I really hated myself because I couldn't move. I hate sweating. I would rather.
I remember you doing all these burpees. I'm like, whoa, this is impressive. So that's why started.
Yeah, that's after some time, right?
Yeah.
So I'm the type of person who would think chewing gum is a form of workout.
Oh wow!
That's how
Okay,
bad I am.
wow, nice. That's
how
a
bad I
transformation in
am.
itself. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm all about I would do yoga when I want, and nobody's going to make me run. But 5 a.m. Club, what you need to do right before you wake up is to sweat, is to induce sweat and increase your heartbeat rate.
Your heart rate, intensity.
Yeah. So because according to Robin Sharma, this is how you tell your body that the mind is the master. So by forcing your body to move and break a sweat, you tell your body that you are my slave and you follow to whatever I say. The first 22 days was really bad. There was a day I was really tired. My daughter wake up like many times. I didn't do my burpees, but I did toe taps.
Okay.
Yeah, just as long as I move. So the first 22 days was the hardest. The second 22 days felt really, really long, like it would never end. Because according to Robin Sharma, once you reach day 44, you would have come to a point of automaticity, where
Mm.
you would wake up automatically at 5,
Mm-hmm.
and but it would still be hard to get up and sweat.
Exercise, yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
it's
it's
not easy. Even
really
for
hard.
me, my sometimes it's like my it's more to like my body can move or my mind doesn't want to do it or something like that. Like you have
Okay, so
that's like a yeah. Mm-hmm.
for you probably it's a reverse
Mm-hmm.
than what I did. It was my mind wants to achieve so many things, but my body, no. You sit
Ah,
down here. But
okay.
your body wants to move, but your mind tells you, your logic tells you not to do it.
Yeah, I can do it later
Yeah,
anyway, so it doesn't. Yeah, all right. So what about
yeah.
the next 20 minutes? Yeah.
The second 20 minutes pocket of the 2020-20 formula is for journaling.
Mm-hmm.
So when you journal, you pour everything out, your thoughts, and it's really important for you not to think of anything or about your grammar. Don't care about all that. Just put it out. Anything that's bothering you or something in the past that you have not really come to settle with, just write it down how you felt. It doesn't matter if you were right or wrong, but it's really important to get it out, so that when
Mm-hmm.
you reread it, you would see that, oh, so this is how my thoughts go, so that you have a chance to observe your thoughts. And you would see that, okay, I don't really like the person inside me actually. So
Mm.
that's one of the things that we could see when we journal, and somehow that makes us a better person once we realize how we are internally.
Okay, so what are the things that you journal and then you find that you don't like it about yourself? Like, you tend to what complain or yeah, what I mean you don't need to share personal things, but like just a gist of like I'm a little bit like curious as well. Like uh I'm guessing that's called awareness before change. You need to be aware of it, right? So what are the things that you probably can advise like, for a new person to like, I want to start journaling, but I don't really know what to write.
Just right. If you don't know what to write, that's what you should write down.
Oh, I don't know what to
So
write.
what I realized is that after a year of doing this, I remember my a year younger self, where I thought
Mhm.
I was a person who don't accept any BS. I think I was
Mm,
kind of proud, like I am not the type who accepts any BS from any
mm,
other person. But
mm.
once I started journaling consistently, I noticed that the only thing I should be caring about is I shouldn't accept any BS from myself.
Mhm.
See,
It's more of a
because
self-reflection, yeah. Mm,
yes, because whatever BS other people give me has nothing to do with my growth. But the BS I give to myself, it stunts my growth. So that's
mm.
what I need to,
Work on.
that's what I need to iron out and get
Mm.
rid of in my life.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
that's a that's a personal development right there.
Yes. It
Yeah.
it really helped me. I think I really hope that a lot more people read that book and
So
apply it
you,
in ways that are helpful to them.
so you just did it all this by just reading the book. Did you go to any forums, watch his videos, or he has an app out? So just by the book.
Yeah, I just told you I'm the type of person who doesn't accept BS from other people. So I'm kind of a self learner.
So you basically put yourself into experiment.
Yeah, it's a lot harder actually to
Mm,
go through it alone. I would recommend getting in touch with a trainer like you, um, to work in groups.
mm.
It gets you would see the benefits far faster, and you gain it easier.
Yeah, because some
Rather
people
than
they cannot
solely.
work alone, so it's very rare. For me, I can. So I know for a lot of people, it's harder to sort of like go off track. Yeah. So okay.
Mm.
So what about the third 20? Yeah. So that's 20 20 20 formula, right? So
The
yeah, the third
third
one. Mm.
the third 20 minutes is for you to capitalize on the theta brainwave that your body has produced. because you just woke up, you got your body to move, so your brain is already the master of your body, and you've journaled, or you've started with a clean slate, and then you would want to learn. So that's when your mind would be very accepting, and whatever you learn would benefit you in exponential ways. Actually, I tried this method with my son, who was 7 years old at the time. He would wake up about at 6:15 to go to school. There was no MCO at the time, it was a year ago. I
Okay.
made him do 10 burpees. So after 10 burpees, I asked him to do some questions on the whiteboard, and I noticed that his understanding is, just much faster, much more accelerated than at 4 p.m. or at other times. So
So he obliged. He has no choice.
yeah, tiger mother.
Okay. Okay, great. So no, that's great. So you can see the benefit. So like in terms of having 4 kids, and then maybe for people who did not catch this early on, you started. I think we did some mathematics, right? So you started the 5 a.m. Club routine almost at the same time as when you gave birth to your fourth child, who's now like 14 months. So
Yeah,
how was that balance? How did you balance? Because I assume kids wake up at different timing, and then you have a family to take care of. You have your husband, you have your kids, so and staying at home now, and so how was that experience?
um, I don't really like to associate the fact that I managed to do this for more than 365 days with the fact that I have 4 kids. If anything, it should be the reason I need to do so much better than I already was, because I have 4 kids, because I want to be a good example to them.
Mm,
So knowing that they would wake up at different times, and I have 4 of them, it's a fact that I cannot control. So I'd rather not make that the determinant whether or not I wake up at 5. So whether or not they wake up multiple times at night, I want to wake up at 5. So
okay.
that's what I do. Yeah.
Okay, a popular question, because I was, I was also excited sharing this to the friend, and she was like asking me. She's at work now, so I'm asking the question on behalf of her. And if there's any people with any questions, please do ask in the comments on Facebook Live if you're watching. And yeah, so the question she has is like, what time do you go to sleep to be able to wake up at 5 a.m.?
Um, I try to be in bed by 10, but
Okay.
that's not usually possible, because by that
Yeah.
time my daughter, who's already in the crib at 9, would be waking up, and sometimes she would just want to cuddle for a while. But I make sure that I am ready to go to sleep by 10.
And is that possible, really? I mean, as in, like, as out of the 365 days that you have done, what was the, like, when you had to sleep late? Was it a struggle, but you still managed to like soldier through in that sense?
Okay. There were times that I slept at 1 and
Mm.
still wake up at 5, because it's already automatic. Actually, I wake up at 4:30.
Okay,
There were
okay.
times that I had to sleep at 1 and past 11 when I have more work to do. I would work at night if I need to.
Mm.
And somehow it does not really affect my performance, but I think it shows from my face.
Mm-hmm.
And for the past few days, I was speaking to a friend, and she was saying that I'm really functioning under really little sleep, which is not good in the long
Mm.
run. So I
Mm.
was like telling her, actually, I can still do work, but I think it's not really the fact that it's the 5 a.m. club thing that's affecting
Mm.
me, because I can still work. But it is the coffee that I've been drinking.
Ah.
It's keeping me awake.
So
So
you incorporated that into your 5 a.m. club routine, right?
yeah. So today is day 3 that I've quit coffee totally. It's so easy for me to quit because because I did the entire 5 a.m. club thing, and that's all about habit creation. So I decided I would not drink coffee anymore. So I stopped the third day, and I slept so much better. I would just, fall asleep right after my head hits the pillow. Because usually before this, while I was functioning under coffee, um, I would be in bed by 10, and then I would toss a bit, and then I would say, maybe I would read a page from that book. And then suddenly I'm through like one chapter.
Ah.
Yeah. So that is what used to happen, um which is not good too. Because if you really follow Robin Sharma's teachings, he says that you should also commit to recovery, and that's really just as important as being productive.
Okay.
Because the wisdom that he puts in is that when you work out, your muscle grows when you rest. Correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So that's the wisdom that he imparts from
Okay.
his book. Yeah.
In
So you
terms
need to
of,
rest.
yeah, that's good. So in terms of let's talk about, since you are doing the exercise, in 20 minutes, is that your only workout that you do, or has that actually affected your whole, nutrition, your diet, your exercise, your lifestyle in general? And did you think you were fitter, or any good positive, or even like any experience that you can share from there?
When I first started 5 a.m. club, the first 22 days, I did 30 burpees generally, and I would sweat like a pig. I would totally sweat.
Mm.
But now 30 burpees is really nothing.
Mm.
So burpees, some HIIT workout, jumping jacks. There's not much difference in terms of my weight on scale, but I must say that there's a huge difference in terms of my body fat percentage.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think that's more important than how much you weigh on the
Yes.
scale,
Body
because
composition is more important. Yeah.
because I am 37 now, and I think there's a lot of places where water is retaining.
Ah.
So yeah, so there's a
Mm-mm.
huge difference, a huge improvement, in fact, in my body fat percentage, and I
Mm.
really like those kind of results.
What time do you actually have your breakfast? I mean, 5 to 6 a.m. is basically, your time to do all this 20-20-20 formula, right? So what time do you actually have your first meal of the day?
At 8
8.
8
Okay.
a.m.
Mm-mm.
And I would have something really light. I would just have probably 2 eggs, and that's
Mm-hmm.
it. If I have
Mm.
um, maybe 2 pieces of toast, that's it. If I have nasi lemak, my entire day is ruined. So
Aha, I
let's not
see.
get there.
Yeah, that's where I come in. Yeah, to talk a bit more about that. Yeah, because I find that because I've been already in this industry for the past 11 years, so adopting, like habits creation and all these concepts are really really good, because it helps you, instead of just doing one thing at a time, or just focus so much on your weight or how you look. It's also, I think, more so important these days is body, mind, spirit. So I
Yes.
think, yeah, I think 5 a.m. club is one good concept, and this teaching has been around for 20 years. I think
Yeah.
I read somewhere, like, yeah. And I do enjoy watching. I'm also like, I'm also a reader, but I do enjoy watching visual and also audio as well. So I like listening to Robin Sharma. So on the first day, I'm like, how do I journal? I mean, I've been journaling, but then it's like I want to get it right. Some, it's like OCD and perfectionist, right? So I actually Googled. I found Robin Sharma's video on how he journals. So,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And true enough, one of the mornings, I woke up the first day, and I actually journaled like 2 pages. I'm like, oh, this is good. I never had even 2 pages of gratitude list, but this is really really good. So hope to keep it going. And one of my, I think, biggest thing is to, I actually like to start with meditation first in the
Mm.
morning. But I think, yeah, I think I have to just start to train my body to move. And I think that is very important. Yeah. So during the 365 days, what are the things that you have achieved? And maybe you cannot like 100%, say that it's all from your 5 a.m. Club, or you may actually give credit to everything to that. But what would be your achievement that you feel that through 5 a.m. Club you are able to actually achieve the things that you used to feel mediocre now? How is that for you right now?
I still think I'm mediocre.
Oh no,
But
you're far from it.
I still think I am mediocre in what I do because there's still so much to learn.
Mhm.
But I think I've helped people achieve things that they've always wanted to. It really, I feel really happy when um, I see, uh, because one of the things that I do is that I beautify people's sentences because
Mm.
it comes to me quite naturally, or I think it comes from all this reading that I do. So when people give me something and tell me, "Eh, Baini, tolong betulkan, tolong bagi cantikkan," and then I do what I do, and it helps them so much. It gives them so much mileage, not directly to me, but to them.
Mhm.
And I feel this is what I want.
Yeah.
If I could help one person this way, and I'm enough
Mm, mm, mm.
because I'm using the gift that I've given with.
Mm. Yeah,
I
and,
cannot really,
yeah, you can explain that in how
yeah, it's
it makes you feel.
unexplainable.
It's more of a feeling than rather than, oh, this is my achievement. You can't really, it's not tangible. Yeah, it's not really tangible. So, oh, great. So, I maybe tell something a little bit about your latest book, and maybe if people can still get it. Yeah, because yeah, I think it's sold out already. It's so good. I actually have two copies. I have yet to give one copy out. Maybe I can do a giveaway, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
that's up to you.
yeah, I think it's really good. So maybe tell people about your book and how the inspiration came, and how do we get a copy of that?
That would be like trade secrets if I told you.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Because to be honest, I wrote the Janitor's Elysium when I was going through my first 66 days.
Yeah, that's why one of the things I think you should be
Yeah,
around the same time that you started
yeah,
the 5 a.m.
because
club.
I think I told you that.
Mm.
I wrote the Janitor's Elysium within the first 66 days. And the idea just hit me. It just hit me while I was journaling, and I just did it. There was no
Mm.
reason not to do it. So there's
Wow.
another there's another teaching by Robin Sharma, which is 1991,
Okay.
which is for you to focus the one thing that you want to do for 90 minutes each day for 90 days. So that's why it's
Mm-hmm.
called 1991.
Okay. Is from the same book?
Yeah, from 5 a.m. Club. So I
Okay.
applied that to the
Mm.
Janitor's Elysium.
Oh wow. Okay.
So yeah, that's the product of 1991 from me.
How long did it take for you to finish the book? Within 66 days?
No, it was I wrote it in July. I published it in November. That's
Okay.
really, I know it's I know it sounds like super fast. I
Yeah.
wrote in July, and
Yeah, but it's your life. It's like your life all add up together. I don't think it's just like you can just say it's just, oh, I wrote this book in few months and I get.
yeah, it's a book that's been waiting to just come out in me for I'm probably the 37 years of my life. I'm not even
Hmm.
37 yet. I know, yeah, I'm already yeah,
Oh,
it's probably the book that's been waiting to come out for
I-
37 years. And I
nice.
wrote it from July until November. And
Mm.
Felicia, before I forget, I want to touch about how I use the 2020 formula to help me from stop snacking. I think that's
Yeah,
really important.
I
Yeah.
think that's really important because I think most of the problem now, especially during the MCO, people are relying on food, for comfort. It could be
Yeah.
alcohol, it could be food, it could be movies, it could be anything. So yeah, maybe you can touch a little bit on like the snacking part. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I managed to control my snacking habit, especially with journaling, because one of the things that I wanted to achieve was to cut sugar.
What was
Just
your
to
sugar intake before?
um I don't really watch. That's how bad it is. I don't even watch how much sugar I take, but I can eat a bag of cookies, those 100-gram bag of cookies, yellow color. I cannot mention the brand. In one sitting. In one sitting, I can finish it all
Okay.
in one
Wow.
sitting. Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
okay.
And now I would have one piece and I'm done. And sometimes I take one piece and I cringe at how sweet it is.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, because my work, my mission, I always mention this even all of my profile. I think when I start to talk to clients, it's the first it's like my mission statement. Like I help people to develop a good relationship with fitness and food and their body. So food essentially is neutral. I think I just bought like three canister of like chocolate cookies from my friend,
Mm,
and because
mm,
I'm also a chocoholic, so I'm like, okay, this is like probably good chocolate, and then based on what she say, I think can give it a try. And true enough, I had one piece. I'm like, oh, okay, this is nice, but I know that I won't be binge eating it. In fact, I actually already gave one to my aunt who lives nearby, so I grabbed, deliver to her place. So yeah, so I think yeah. So also when you journal, okay, maybe you can share a little bit more. How long did the journal take until you actually begin to sort of create this awareness and create a new habit of like be mindful about snacking?
mm.
Mm,
So my journey about with cutting sugar was a bit difficult.
mm,
So that's why one day while journaling at 5:20, I decided to write about my relationship with snacks. What is it
mm.
about snacks that I really I cannot get hold of?
Detach.
What,
Yeah.
yeah, what's the problem with me and snacks?
Mm, mm,
So
mm.
and then one day it occurred to me that when I was younger, about 4, 5 years old, I wrote this in my journal. Snacks, candies was a form of celebration
Mm,
because um I was 4 or 5 years old when my dad was a student and there was the four of us. And having candies is like is really scarce. So we don't get that much. So we only have that when we're celebrating something.
mm.
So I relate sugar to celebrating something.
So being happy. So the feeling of
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Something like when I'm happy, I want to eat sugar. When I do something and I deserve a reward, I want to eat something sugary. That's just so dysfunctional.
Yeah,
So
actually, it's quite common that you think. Did you realize that during birthdays, during Valentine's, during
yeah,
anniversary, during everything, we are eating cake and raya is cookies, is all this.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Even Ramadan, we're talking about berbuka puasa with all these juada things, juada iftar and all these sweets
yeah.
and yeah, stuff. So it's not just you. Yeah, it's very very
So when I have that personal insight from my journal,
okay.
I reprocess the experience, and now that I'm older, I don't need candy to tell me to be happy.
True.
And with that, I just stopped eating candies, chocolates
Mm. But do you
whenever I
still
feel like
celebrate
it.
birthdays with cakes and stuff like that? I'm sure you do.
Yeah, I do, but
You just have a better relationship with it. You don't treat it like a reward. I think a lot of people treat food like a reward and
yeah,
exercise like a punishment, right? Yeah.
yes. And
Mm,
unless it's really good, then I would have second helpings, but it's quite rare that I would think that a cake or something sweet would be
mm.
really appealing to me.
Yeah, it shouldn't trigger you in that sense. So I mean, if you want to have it, part of enjoying it, I think is good, but not
Mm-hmm.
when you start to develop like you feel guilt after eating it, or you don't.
Uh-huh.
Meaning your body maybe is already in a condition that is like you know that you need to lose weight, having more energy and all these things. Like people with let's say diabetes, you have a sugar issue, but you're like I can't, I have to
Mm-hmm.
find sugar. So that is already a very a little bit of unhealthy relationship, I will call it. And
Yeah.
I think through journaling and then through the 20 formula, using the 5 a.m. club concept really help you. So I think, yeah, I think this is a good thing. If there's any takeaway message, in terms of
Yeah.
wellness and eating and having good relationship with food, with fitness, I think this is
Mm.
really, really good. Yeah. So
Because one part is that when you wake up and you work out, you are the master of your body. So when you through your journal, you tell yourself, okay, there's really no reason for you to be eating too much sugar anymore.
mm,
So the body processes what the mind says, and with just that, I just reduce my snacking habit. And it's not to say that I don't eat chocolates anymore, that I don't eat cakes
yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
In
yeah.
fact, in fact, I just had KFC for lunch. I still enjoy food, but the operating word there is enjoy.
Yes,
I don't eat.
not like craving or trigger food or comfort
Yes.
food. Yeah, I think, yeah,
Yeah.
that's very important for people to know this. It's like uh, like fried chicken or cookies or chocolate or sugar is not evil. It's just like how you see it. I think that's
True.
very important. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Thank you so much for sharing. Maybe any last takeaway from, like, oh, by the way, just a quick question. Do you take a nap if you feel a bit tired during the day?
Yes.
Mm,
Yes, I do.
mm,
When I was like I was saying before, I was under the influence of coffee
mm-hmm,
fueling my day. I don't nap throughout. I don't nap at all. I
mm,
felt like I could go on doing work, but
mm,
since my 3 days break without coffee, yesterday I had a nap, and the
mm,
day before I had a nap, but not today. I think the effects of coffee has slowly um, is slowly leaving from my system, because today I think
mm,
I'm functioning just fine.
Yeah, for me,
So I
yeah.
do take naps. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Because for me, I feel that taking coffee for me, if I'm feeling tired, I don't take coffee. I make that
Mm-hmm.
rule for myself because I started being aware of how much of sugar and caffeine is in coffee. Because I used to be a coffee addict, like literally 3 to 6 cups of coffee. Anything
Ah,
under like white coffee from Ipoh, where I'm from,
so
and
young.
to all these nice frappuccinos and ice blended and whatever, not green tea lattes or whatever. So I realized at one point, I'm like, oh my god, I'm taking so much of sugar and caffeine, and one full meal calorie in one drink, and I'm
Yeah.
taking 3 to 6 of it a day. So hence
Yeah.
why, one of my reasons for personal transformation is because I was having this very unhealthy relationship with food. and
Mm.
uh, and yeah, when I first did the whole 21 days, I did a 21 days challenge for to quit coffee.
Mm.
And I actually continued another year, 365 days of
Ah,
no coffee. So
that's
every time
good.
I want to drink coffee, I will drink tea. I
Ah.
will go for like fruits. So that really helped me in terms of like energy, better sleep. It cleared up my skin. Weight was much better. Yeah. So I think that's just the awareness. Sometimes you don't need for the perfect timing, because I end up in coffee shops, and like sometimes it just happen to have like social gatherings. I just don't
Mm.
order coffee. I just say, oh, can I have warm water, or can I just order tea?
Mm.
So it's just about, when you're put into different situation, it's not about like trying to fight it, but yeah, you know that you have willpower, believe that your
Yeah.
mind, yeah, your mind over matter. And I think that is what we are trying to pass the message forward. So I hope that you have a great great MCO so far. And what
Uh,
are your plans after this? Any second book coming up?
uh, I cannot tell yet because I'm still working on my app.
Okay. Oh, nice. So
Yeah.
you're working on an app. This is for the grammar helpline, right?
Yeah, I think people uh, sometimes I think because the questions I get from people is that did you study English? Did you study journalism? No, I
Mm,
studied IT.
mm.
So
Oh,
this
so that
is
is your, yeah, so use it to your own, yeah, definitely. Because I find that because through life experience, sometimes you have that, and then you can borrow from so many like if you read like 1,050, or let's just say 50 books, right, a year, I feel that you can at least write one book, right? Yeah, which is what you did.
Yeah.
So I'm very proud to have you as my friend and contact, and
Thanks
I
for
hope.
having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining. I think at the end of the day, we just want to connect with people, and then hope that this can inspire more people to be the best version of themselves. I think generally, I think it's just that is like the key, right? So
Yeah.
don't focus on other people. When you focus on yourself, everything will be aligned.
Yeah.
Whatever your heart desire, whatever you want to do, there's a lot of uncertainty right now. People need hope, people need faith, people need some connection. There's a lot of social distancing, so through all this, like either by reading a book, journaling, exercising, talking to a friend, I think it makes people feel like they can have another day, another courage, another hope for another day.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
always a new day.
yeah, it's always a new day. So thank you so much, and yeah, let's hope that we successfully complete our 5 a.m. Club challenge, and then I hope that I will definitely yeah, listening to this, I'm even more inspired right now. So I'm going to go back and reflect and work on it definitely. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we
I
will
think
leave.
there's one more thing that I want to say.
Okay, great. Yeah,
Yeah.
come. No worry. Yeah, the video is still
Uh,
on.
it's from the book from Brene Brown, Daring Greatly,
Uh-huh.
or
Okay.
is her other book, Dare to Lead.
Yeah, Dare to Lead. I've heard of
Yeah.
that
So
book.
this,
Yeah.
I incorporate one part from her book into my journaling. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so what Brene prescribes is that for you to choose two
Mm-hmm.
highest values in your life, whether it is success or courage or your family. There's a long list of values, like wealth, health, so
Mm.
many. But choose two that is of highest importance to you.
So your priority, if people don't know where to
Yes,
start. Mm.
yeah. Two highest values that you will not compromise on.
That will be
And
a motivation for you to
mention those two highest values in your journal every
every
day.
day. Okay.
Yes. So that
Mm.
would set you to the path of the life that you want.
Wow, that
Yeah.
is very profound. Thank you so much. I feel that I've gone through like a session with Robin Sharma already. No, but I think, yeah, I think the most important thing is that sometimes we are all messengers.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody cannot process what Robin Sharma, like, you had that perception earlier on, right? And maybe somebody through you can actually like, okay, now I'm gonna I've actually gotten inspired by Baini and all this conversation, and I think I'm gonna go back and do something about it, be it some books, I don't know, be it some concept, but at the end of the day, it's just, yeah, trying to be better versions of
I would
herself.
be happy if anybody just message me, PM me on Facebook or anywhere and to ask me about books. I'm
Mm.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
I'll
cool.
be happy to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I already tag you in my post, and then for people who wants to like have like find wellness lifestyle, coaching, a friend to talk to, so they can talk to me as well. So I think or having a conversation like a Zoom call, we'll be down to do that anytime. Sometimes it's just collaboration of different people, different different input. I think that's important.
Yeah.
Because if just one person talking about it, people may not like, oh yeah, she can do it, because they have like that perception of like, oh, she does this, she does that. But you have few people from different background, and it just we are just sending that message out that, hey, we are in this together. Of course, everybody have a different journey, a different phase in their lives, but we can somehow apply good things to
Yeah.
gain positive things from there. Yeah, so once again, thank you so much.
And I want to
For
thank you too for the good things that you post on Facebook.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're most welcome. I mean, sometimes I don't get that feedback, but it's really nice to hear that, because sometimes you never know, what you can do, because we are almost like we
I
are just talking
understand
to
that.
ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's how that's one of the things. I think we are both creatives. I would say that's where we meet. We are both
Mm-hmm.
creatives and we don't get direct feedback from people. about what we do, but that's never the point, right?
Yeah, that's
The
never the
point is
point.
that
We're not looking for validation, but
yes,
yeah, it's just we are looking for a place to express.
true.
Yeah, but of course, if you can find something of you're passionate about, you can be creative about it, you can get paid for it, that's a bonus. Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
essentially what
ikigai.
everybody wants. Yeah, I mean, the worst thing for me is to being stuck at something that I hate doing, and even though maybe I get paid, I don't like doing it. So I think that is the calling, that is the message for people. Like, if you're not happy where you are, move. You're not a tree, says Jim Rohn. So one of my favorite philosopher. I think you mentioned him yesterday. You listened to him. So he has been one of my business and life mentor. So yeah. So yeah, all these things will come up automatically because so much of listening, audiobooks, and also reading. And it's not.
Well,
It's not that we read and we recite and we don't apply it. So when through applying, we can actually it's already inside you. It's just wisdom.
but at the same time, we must also empathize with the people who think that we can say this because we are idealists.
Mm,
But I must say that I've been on that boat,
mm.
and I think 5 a.m. Club asking you for that 1 hour before your world starts is a way to begin. One of the ways to begin.
Yeah, I think it's self-care, it's self-love. You cannot give other people what you don't have. So yeah, start with yourself. Yeah. So
True.
I think that's what when you sort of like you channel that energy. I think believers will be believers. I think people don't believe will just take some time to get through it. Yeah, but anyways, we are talking to people who's probably looking for for some answers. They start
Yeah.
asking. So people who search, they will always find.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm, yeah. So thank you so much, Baini. And yeah, let's
Thank
catch
you,
up. Maybe
Felicia.
another session, I think we have, when you put two people together, you just, endless chit chat, right? So
Yeah.
I hope all the audience are watching. If you're not, this is, could be a replay, and do share it with your friends, those people who may, may benefit from it. And then, yeah, let's chat soon. Let's keep in touch. Let's get
Yeah.
connected. All right. Bye bye. See you.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye bye.